someone that's been on my radar for a little bit of a while, but I haven't had like a huge amount of a relationship with this player. We've had a few scrims here and there, but we didn't stay in touch and talk as much. So what's always interesting with these podcast episodes is that me personally being in the podcast with them, I'm suddenly exposed to who they are at like a human level, beyond the regular player that we're seeing in the arena. Often you go into a game and there's 7 other players, and the kind of communication you're having is very surface level. When you're one-on-one for an hour in the arena together, you go deep. You can't help it. The conversation just flows. It's back and forth, and good conversation comes from that. So this next guest is someone who I've been in the arena with before, but we definitely haven't had a conversation like this. I find out he's a very interesting person. I'll be honest, on a surface level, I thought they were a lot younger than they are, and I thought the conversation would kind of be limited in those ways. It turns out this person, for their age, has had a ton of life experience, and a part of that life experience has been in Echo, in the arena, which we share, similar to me. And what I enjoy most about this episode is that this individual, as I uncover like their motivations and what they're doing and like how they're navigating this world of competitive play in the virtual sport environment, they're incredibly similar to me. And you might see this during the episode that I become more, surprisingly to myself, more engaged as I'm like, oh, right, yeah, I can relate to that. I did this, I did that. This is one of the first episodes where you see a bit more of me as well. Because of the similarities, this person at one point just starts interviewing me, and the questions are thrown back towards me before they answer my own questions. So that's quite an experience, and I hope that shows a bit more of me in this episode. But without further ado, this is Fam. Let's get into it. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. Where are you from?
Nice. I'm from the Netherlands. I'm from
Okay.
Harlem. It's a little place close to Amsterdam.
Okay.
It's like
Yeah, cool.
Amsterdam, but without the tourism. It's really nice.
Right. And you're in high school?
No, I used to study last year. I did
Okay.
HR. I
Right.
studied HR, human resource management. But I don't do that anymore due to circumstances. I had one of my exam weeks, I had a surgery on day 1 of that.
Yep.
And it was like a surgery that kind of came out of nowhere that I didn't knew I was gonna have.
Right.
So then I basically missed 5 exams, and then I had no space to like not pass one. If I like failed 1 exam in my whole year, I was out. And I failed 1, got a 5 out of 10 for something. So I don't study right now. Just looking for a job.
How crazy was the surgery?
It's a surgery I had before. It's it's a benign tumor. It's called. It's nothing too serious, nothing crazy. Don't get worried.
Right.
But,
It sounds scary when you say that.
no, it's really not, because like a benign tumor is a friendly thing that doesn't really hurt you, and they just
Okay.
remove it, and it's not that big of a deal. But I had to get it done, and yeah, that's
Okay.
it.
Yeah. Fair play. So well, when people come on this show, I'd like to talk about like what they were doing before they were playing Echo, what their life was like, what kind of other games were they playing if they were into games, or maybe they
Alright.
weren't and they were actually into sports, but because of COVID, they had to pick up a virtual sport. Was that your story, or was it different?
I guess a bit of both. I definitely enjoy sports. I enjoy video games.
Yeah.
I have never been much of like an intense gamer as I have been with Echo. Like I always was a really casual gamer. I just played the games that everyone played, like Call of
Sorry,
Duty.
one sec. The
Oh,
noise of that disc is annoying me.
I understand.
Send it in.
Yeah, no,
Just
but I
come
am.
forward a tiny. That's good. That's good.
All
You
right,
can-
I'll stay.
just in that area is cool.
I'll
Actually,
stay
go
close.
back.
I'll stay close. Oh,
Back a tiny
okay.
bit. There, perfect.
Perfect. Okay, stay
Yes.
like this. All right. So yeah, I used to play Call of Duty. I was shit at it, like horrible player, absolutely horrible. FIFA as well, terrible. But somehow Echo was just different for me. Like I the games I played before, like yeah, Call of Duty, FIFA, a bit of Assassin's Creed. I really like Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, which one?
Fantastic games. I started the first one I ever played was Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah,
That was a
early
really good
America
one.
one, right? Going around
Yeah, it was
Boston.
a really good one with like the indie. Oh wow.
Oi,
Whoa.
whoa.
Okay, I'm here. I'm here. With the Indian tribe. That's
Yeah.
it. I don't remember the name, but it was a really good game. But yeah, games beside that, I don't really think other video games are really a big hobby of mine. I played sports. Yeah, sports or games, sports. Yes, I played quite a lot of sports actually. I played football.
Yeah.
I played table tennis, great sport. Normal tennis. I did judo. I did baseball, golf for a little, and yeah.
Have you picked any of those up like last year, year before,
Um,
since COVID's opened up, like since
Not
lockdown
really,
opened up?
not really, because I used to do them with friends back where I lived in Harlem, but I don't live there anymore. I moved out when I started college. So where I live right now, I don't really have that group of friends that I always play these sports with.
Yeah.
So I don't really do those sports at the moment, but I miss it. Definitely miss it. I don't know what I'm gonna do after Echo, because I definitely want to keep moving. So I'll probably start going to the gym again as well.
Okay. So can you tell me like the kind of time when did you get into Echo? Like, when around was it? Did you get into VR first and then Echo? Like, was there a period where you're playing other games, or was it just like straight away Echo?
No, definitely. Um, I started playing Echo around the time I got the headset, which was March of 2020. I think that's when COVID hit.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people got a headset around COVID because it's a way to still like you have to stay inside so much, but then with a
Yeah.
headset you can still kind of go places, right? Like you and I are doing right now.
Yeah.
So it was a Quest One. It was not my headset. My father actually bought it for like himself, my mother, my brother, and me, and he never really played it. But he thought this is something fun that we can like play, and it's something new. And like during all the mess of COVID, he just thought it would be nice to like get something in the house for us all to get excited about. And he really succeeded with that. Like I played VR. I think the first game I played was Robo Recall. If you ever played it,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
it's a really funny game, and that's when I kind of just fell in love with VR. I didn't start playing Echo until like a few months in. Like the first game I really started playing was 11 Table Tennis.
Yep.
That's like such a good game. And on that game, I met a guy, Jelmer is his name, and he told me to play Echo. And I was like, oh, I've seen it in the store. It doesn't really look fun for me because I saw pictures with robots, and I'm not really this futuristic interested. Like I don't really,
Mm.
I never really enjoyed like robot movies or stuff like that, and the whole aspect of that it just didn't interest me. But he persuaded me to do it, and I played. And of course, at first, it was really difficult to get started with Echo because everyone's just better than you. And it's not that I like cared about that others were better than me. I just didn't really know what to do. So then I
Mm.
didn't touch the game for I'd say 4 or 5 months, like a pretty long amount of time. And then I got back on it and I started playing with like I met a few people and I started seeing the better side of Echo. Like when you play with friends is when
Mm.
you really start enjoying it, and that's
So
when
how
I
did
really
that
started.
come about? Did you start adding people and then they would invite you into their party? And you just go pubbing, or was it private lobbies at that point?
Yeah, no, it was definitely first pubs at that point. Like the privates only really started once I joined VRML, which
Okay.
was season 4. It was my first
Season
season.
four.
It says it right there as well.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely not an OG. Definitely not an OG. No season 1 banner here. But yeah, no, that's like how it started for me. Just a lot of pubs. And then I think when I had 500 pubs, I was thinking I want to start a team or join a team or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's when it all happened for me.
And how was it at that time? So, like, you're working towards your 500 pubs. You've got a couple friends that you come online with, you party up with.
Hmm.
Like, what was it like at that time? How many, like, were you putting a lot of hours in, or was it more like, yeah, just every now and then?
A lot of hours in. I was definitely trying to play multiple times a week. I don't think I was playing every day because when I started, I was still working at a media company in Amsterdam,
This
just
is the
customer
HR
service.
role, or is this
No, no,
something
no.
else?
This is a job. HR was a study.
Okay.
So the job was customer service for a big media company in Amsterdam. Basically
Yeah.
calling with people, writing emails, and being the support on WhatsApp as well.
Yeah.
But yeah. What was the question again?
Well, now I'm interested in like what. So, what are you doing for work at the moment?
I'm looking right now. I actually have an interview this week for KLM. It's a Dutch airline,
Okay.
and
You're going to be an air hostess.
uh, man, I wish. You know, a job like that I would honestly love.
Yeah.
Just go in all sorts of places, getting a lot of like discounts for like you can fly for free, and
Yeah.
that'd be fantastic. No, but it's as account manager for KLM.
Okay. Is that the kind of thing that? So when did you graduate? I know you had the situation with your exams,
Hmm.
but when did you finish your studies, or have you not finished your studies?
I have not finished my studies. I had to drop
Oh,
out
right,
because I
right.
missed all those exams.
Is that something that you're bothered about going back for? Keen to, or
I
not
mean,
so bothered?
that's the thing, right? Like, I really want to study again because, of course, I want to study. Like, I want a diploma, and I definitely am gonna get that.
Mm.
But if you get kicked of a study where you really put your all into, like, I really tried hard for this, and I really worked my ass off. But
Mm.
because I missed 5 exams, I just had no position to. I don't know. It was just really difficult to make it through the
That
year
does. I
having
mean,
missed
I
that.
don't know the specific reasons or no, I know the reason. I don't know the specific situation, but I imagine having surgery
Hmm.
is a valid reason
Yeah, you'd say that, huh?
to resit.
Yeah, I thought so too, man. I thought so too. But they said, well, the thing that they did for me was they gave me so you're allowed to basically fail 5 exams in the whole year because I missed five. That's 5 fails. But they said, okay, because you had surgery, you'll get a sixth, and that sixth was really nice. But in an entire year, that means you're only allowed to really fail one exam, and I got a 5 out of 10 for something, and you need like a 6 out of 10. So
Right.
it was super close, but then I had to quit. They
So
didn't allow
right
me.
now, what like is there a direction? Maybe not an end goal, but is there a direction that you want to go in? Is there like a career that you're working towards, or not sure?
I'm not sure at the moment, because like for a long time I thought HR was it, and obviously that didn't turn out to be it. And then
Mm.
I kind of had a difficult year last year. Like a lot of stuff happened for me, like just bad stuff, like losing people and losing loved ones, and
Mm.
it was rough. So I just kind of, I don't know, I just kind of lost motivation at a point. But I think Echo really helped me in that too, to where like I could have a shit day, I could come home from a funeral, and Echo would be there, and my friends would be there to all cheer me up and
Mm.
make me smile again.
Okay, let's talk about this. So I know you through
Oh yeah.
Holmesy Home, yeah,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
yeah, he talks about you, talks about hanging out with you and your good relationship.
Mhm.
How did you meet the Divide team? Was that your first VRML team?
No, that's actually a really like story for me that's very like dear to me. Like the Divide period was
Yeah,
amazing.
let's do it.
Um, I was in Team Juice.
Okay.
That's the team I started with Boschk138. Shout out Boschk. Um, he's in Oreo now, but yeah. So me and him started Juice. We played for season 4, but then
Yeah.
I kind of noticed that the energy wasn't there anymore. There was no motivation, and I tried to get everyone like on for the games. Like, let's get excited, let's enjoy the game, let's work to get better, but let's have fun doing it. But no one really responded to it, and
Mm.
I like it's perfectly fine if that's like not the same page that they were as me. But then one time during a scrim against the Divide, afterwards they were talking about how they were looking for a new front stacker, but that they were having a rough time because they wanted it to be an adult, and there's so many children in this game.
Mm.
So I heard that and I thought to myself, like, hey, I'm an adult. That could be me. Like, I really like the way these guys acted and how they were just so friendly and so enthusiastic about everything. And like,
Mm.
it was also just a really good scrim. They played really well, and you could just see there's chemistry there.
Mm.
And yeah, that's when I told Bosch, like, bro, like, I really enjoyed my time with you, but I think for me it's time to do the next step. And that's when I joined the Divide and met Homzi. And Homzi was just from moment one a fantastic captain. Like, to get in the team, I first had to play a round of golf with his wife. Yeah. He told you this as well in the podcast.
Yeah.
He told
Yeah,
you
he
that
did.
his wife basically assesses the people that he's trying out. And yeah, no, it was just a lot of fun. And his wife is super nice, and Homzi's super nice, and they were all so nice. And yeah, I was fortunate enough that they wanted me in. So that's when I joined the fight, and like not just Homzi, but all of them, like Mickey, YZ Killer, Wilco, like everyone's just so nice, and Conan, of course. Conan is the co-captain in my team now in Antidote. I don't like saying co-captain, by the way. It's captain and captain. It's a 50-50 thing.
Okay, so this was season 4 you started, you joined Team Juice, and then the
Yes.
chemistry was falling apart, or like the enthusiasm was missing on the
Yeah,
team, so you're looking for another team, you joined the Divide. How long were you on the Divide for?
one season.
One season.
One season. That was season 5. And then, yeah, like we had a fantastic season. And what I really liked about it is like they were all so mature, and it was such different Echo from what I'm used to. Like, to find a team where it was adults only, like there was just no drama, everyone was supportive, there was no selfishness in the team, there were no people trying to one up each other. Everything was just like blessed, it was just calm, it was just chill.
And since being on that team, have you done pubs at all? Did you completely stay away from them, or do you party up and go into pubs together?
Not as much as I would like, but they have a lot to do. Like they have wives and children, and like 9 to 5 jobs. So the moments they do pick to get on Echo, they play with their team. They
Yeah.
scrim,
Scrims,
and
yeah.
yeah, like I'm seeing them at LAN in 2 weeks. Pretty sure you're going as well.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know,
I'll be
but
there.
yeah. All
Have you
right, I'll
sorted
meet
out
you
your
there then.
accommodation there?
Yes, I am with Holmesy. I'm with Conan.
Nice.
I'm with Mickey, if he can make it. Mickey was on the Divide as well. He's from Israel, so that would be really cool to see him like coming all the
Yeah,
way
yeah,
over from Israel.
100%.
And
When do you land?
the
Or where do you
7th
fly
of
in?
April.
Is
The
that
7th of
is that the
April.
Friday itself, or is that the Thursday? The
Hmm.
Friday.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
not playing in the thing. I'm not playing in it.
Did you want to and then miss the tickets, or you chose not to?
Nah, I thought to myself, if I sign up for this, I'm gonna be bound to this location for certain time periods, and I just want the complete freedom to do whatever the F I want when I'm there. So like, let's say someone asks me, hey, let's go whiskey tasting here or something. Let's go have a lunch
Okay.
over there. I want to
Alright.
go. I want to experience the people, because back home I can play Echo.
Yeah. Got you.
When I'm in England for the first time in my life and meeting all these people, I don't want the headset on for 1 minute of it. I want to see
Interesting.
everything.
You arrive on in the morning. Do you land in the morning on the 7th?
Around 12, and then I
12.
should
Oh, okay.
be at the event around 1 because I land in Southampton. They have an airport there.
Ah, nice, nice, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you fly back on the Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that makes sense then. You want to make the most of it. It's
I
going to be
think
a
I'm
great event.
also sharing accommodation, by the way, with Jackknife, not to forget.
Okay.
He's in it too.
By the way, I love your emoji. Is that
Oh,
Godzilla?
I'm just hitting it on accident. I think
I know.
it's a guy stomping a building or something.
I think it's meant to be Godzilla's foot crushing
Yeah,
some four
it could be a
buildings.
total prick with this. Like, slam dunk on someone and just look at him, give him the good old boot to the building.
Do you have one set up on the other side? I can't even remember what mine are.
Nah, money, bro.
Dollar, you got dollar, dollar, dollar.
Dollar signs.
Can you tell me what mine are? Because I turned the HUD off.
Those
What's
are
that?
some pretty cool looking Ray-Bans.
Okay, and this one.
That's tears, that's crying. Do you use that one a lot?
I don't.
Just go on all day.
You know, you can turn it off in the settings, so I never see them. So I just forget they're there. So I press it
Oh.
accidentally all the time. And
No, I quite
Yeah.
like them actually. You should use them.
yeah. I'll be honest, I just haven't been playing. I've been doing this podcast, and I've been.
Mm-hmm.
I want gonna get back into casting this week. So we're recording this on the 26th of March. Is it today? We've got 2 weeks until Southampton,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to get as much casting in now as like practice, because at the event there's going to be 20 hours of matches,
Yeah.
and there's 3 casters.
Jeez, man, you're gonna be tired at the end of it. You're not even getting
And I'm
paid for
signed up to
this.
play as well.
You just, yeah. No, but like, I want to take a second as well to just thank you for all you do for the EU community. I don't think that gets enough appreciation and love from people. Like, I've watched your casts, I watch your podcasts like these. Like, I keep up with what you do, and I really like it. Like, there's not many people trying to grow the community like you do. So, thank
Cheers,
you for
man.
that, bro. On behalf of everyone who's never got the chance to tell you as well.
Yeah, it kind of sucks that the game's shutting down, right? To put all
Yeah.
this work in, but it's then like, okay, how do we move this forward? How do we pivot into a different game, or be game independent and build a brand
Yeah.
in that way? Oh, I don't know. It's all in the air.
Yeah, what do you think is gonna happen like after Echo with the community?
Oh, who's interviewing who?
Man, like you always ask the questions people want to know about you too, probably. What do you think is gonna happen, Mitch?
Okay, I'll answer, but then you have to answer as well. I wanna
Yeah,
get your
sure,
opinion,
we'll
because
do.
it's your episode. So
All right.
I think the game shuts down on the 1st of August. I think it's great that the community's made a lot of noise, and we've had this petition signed by 27,000, however many people. I think it's good that we flew that plane around Menlo Park in America. I think we made a lot of noise and it got seen. I don't think it was going to change any decisions, but it showed that VR isn't as dead as people are making it out to be. In my honest opinion, it's not dead, but we've definitely had a moment of like excitement and like, wow, this is the next thing. This is the next big thing. And then we've hit this point of like, actually, no, it's not. It's like a bubble that's blown up. And then we've realized, actually, no, it's not. And then the tech industry as a whole is having a bit of a like a downturn at the moment. Facebook is definitely in the middle of that, and they've got it the worst. And because of that, they're cutting, this their year of efficiency, which means like job cuts. It means project cuts, and it's led to the death of Echo. They're shutting down this game, which they bought the rights to. And I think it really sucks that they're shutting it down and then not having any kind of conversation about selling the rights to it, which I think is a real missed move. But regardless, in my honest opinion, I think it's the best thing that can happen. I think that Echo before the shutdown wasn't in the perfect state because it wasn't being looked after, it wasn't being moderated. Moderation's the big one, right? You go into a pub and it's a mess. There should be people cleaning this up. And moderation, of course, you can't avoid it. It's going to be in any game where it's free to play, especially if it's free to play. But there should be some kind of moderation. There should be like a vote system. If 7 people out of 8 vote for the 8th person to leave, the 8th person should definitely leave. There should be at least some way of doing that, which there just isn't.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, what do I think about the future? I think the shutdown of the game is a very good opportunity for other bedroom developers to build something. The best example is Lemming, an ex-Echo player who by themselves in the bedroom as a developer builds a game that outsells like 26 million or something.
Yeah.
He's made more money from that than these AAA studios which are also competing. Like that doesn't add up.
Gorilla Tag, right?
Gorilla Tag, yes.
Yeah, never
How can
played
Gorilla
it.
Tag be so successful and yet these AAA studios are struggling to come anywhere near? Which means that how many other Gorilla Tags are about to appear in the next 12 months?
Yeah. Yeah, true. Like a lot of people will realize the gap in the market, and they'll sit there and think, hey, like let's get the team together, let's make something for these people, or like to fill in this void. Absolutely. Like it's definitely the best thing for Echo, like right now, that it's gonna die, because at the moment it happens so often that I go to a mixed scrim and suddenly someone is there playing that I haven't seen in like 6 months. And then I ask them,
Mm.
hey, since when are you back? And they say, well, because Echo is dying, I decided to come back, because if not now, then when, right?
Yeah.
So it's definitely like good for Echo right now, but it's also going to be sad to see Echo basically at its peak and
Yeah.
then it's just gone.
Gone. Yeah. It feels premature, doesn't it? It feels like,
It
yeah,
really
okay, it was
does. It really
declining, but
does.
it's
Uh-huh.
too early.
Also, for me and my team, it's like we got together season 5 Antidote. We've played, oh no, excuse me, season 6. We played season 6, now season 7. And we're finally like where we want to be, like the level we want to play. Like, yeah, we'll lose some games here and there. We'll win some games here and there. But right now, we just feel like we're really playing at the peak of Echo, minus like the number 1 and 2, maybe. But it's just sad for us that we don't really get to fully enjoy that experience, because like we are really getting so much chemistry right now, and we're really doing well together, and we're having so much fun. And
Mm.
then in a month, when VRML is done, that's just gonna be over, and we've gonna have like we'll have put so much time in together to make it work and to become close with each other and to become as well orchestrated as we are right now. And then that's just gonna be done. But I mean, you just gotta try to enjoy it in the moment and realize that right now we're having a lot of fun. Like there was a moment after the announcement where I thought like, how am I gonna make my team excited to play? How am I gonna
Mm.
motivate them? Like how am I gonna get them to, because they can just tell me like, what's the point if it's gonna die? And I can think to myself, you know what, they're right, what's the point? But I didn't want to think like that, so I quickly
Mm.
hit that out of myself. Like we're just playing for fun right now, and that's all it is. We're just playing because we still can, you know?
So you're captain of your team. You said you have a
Yes.
co-captain, but you want to consider him a captain as well,
Yeah.
50-50.
Mm-hmm.
What
Yeah.
did you have? I think the question I want to ask here is, why did you want to step up and be a captain?
Um, why did I start a team? Like, why did
Yeah.
I? All right. So, I was on the divide, and it was really amazing. It was super fun.
Mm.
But then I kind of realized that team-wise, we hit like the ceiling to where we
Yeah.
felt like we could go, because I was in a team full of adults and everyone was basically 30 plus. Like, I effing loved it. But you'll always have these pesky 14-year-olds that will just be faster than you,
Yeah.
because they're just so much more mobile and they have bigger, like better reaction times. And so I just knew we kind of hit that cap. But I was pretty hungry as a player. Like,
Yeah.
I wanted to see how far I could go if I really tried to go for it. And
Yeah.
that's when I offered to the guy that's now my co-captain, Conan. I told
Mm.
him like, what if you and I, we leave this team and we start our own team? And I had to sleep on it for many nights, because it felt scummy for a bit, because I'm basically taking myself and another player from this team that I love so much. But the way we did it and the way we handled it was just really well, and we were on call with Holmesy, and
Mm.
we made sure um, that he was okay with it and that he understood, and he did understand. Like he even mentioned that he felt like it was coming as well. Like
Right.
it was just time for me and Conan to do our own thing and see what we can do together when we can like fully control our team and how we do and what we do and the rollouts and all that. Because like back on the divide as well, I used to be the guy that comes with the strategies. I damn made PowerPoint presentations for rollouts. Simply
Wow.
because I just love doing it.
Yeah.
Like, I would make a PowerPoint on a certain strategy, why on a rollout a stack should be stacked on a bow tie or I don't know what. And then I would make a presentation about it and I would get the team in a call and I would like give it. And the reason I did that is because they can visualize it a lot more than, let's say we're playing a scrim and right before we start, I say, guys, I want to try this. And like with no further explanation, like in those presentations, I used to give the benefits and the downsides of the tactic that I was trying to go for. But they really loved it and they loved that I tried doing that. But I think that's why I started to be a captain as well. It's because I just realized that I have this passion and I don't want to be held back by making a presentation to try and do something. I want to like just have that freedom. Like, I know we can do this and it's just, I don't know. It was just time.
With your strategies, is there anything that you've come up with which feels different to what other people are doing? Or is it more that
Um,
you've studied the game, you've understood what the top teams are doing in the US and the UK? In the EU, and you've built on those, or
there's definitely rollouts I've stolen from American teams. Like you would watch Instinct and they would have this rollout where the first pass they bounce over cloud to popcorn right here. QB grabs it on nest and hits it like a boob shot on that point.
bounces it over cloud to popcorn?
Yeah,
Oh, that's sick.
because that stack cannot grab it, and then here on
Yes.
popcorn for the enemy stack, it's quite a difficult
Yeah.
fly around to get here, right?
Yeah.
Like that's
So the
something I
front stack,
really
they would
loved.
bounce on double, and then they would struggle to read it, right? Is that the idea?
Yeah. But
Okay,
like
cool.
it's dangerous, of course, because it has to go right. If you hit the cloud or if you don't have
Yeah.
the disc, you're in a bad place.
Yeah.
That's why we don't do it anymore. Like that was fun, but it's just trying all these different things out. But that's something I took from another team. But there's also things I came up with myself. There's one rollout we do on my team, and we call it Narnia because it's basically this secret doorway usage. So when you have a rollout, usually the quarterback throws it left, right, to cloud station, tunnels. He flips
Yeah.
onto ceiling, jukes stack, tries to get all crazy with it.
Yeah.
We kind of do a rollout where the first pass, the QB grabs it and he turns around on his own nest and he throws it right past our own goal into my hands, like on the floor underneath goal.
Oh, yeah.
And then I have the disc there and I have a pass to like floor here around trap area or to the station over there.
Yeah.
So what I like about this is I've never seen another team do it. Like there might be a team insulted right now thinking, hey fam, we did that first. Congratulations. I've never seen others do it though, so for me this is something I came up with, and it's usually one of the rollouts that work best for us because other teams, they always fly to double diamond or they push all the way, but never in a million years are they ready to go all the way to your logo on the side of it. Right? And then the idea is that when I get the disc there, I pass it when I get pressured, and then I just leech that stack that tries to pressure me. Because then that stack is just so far away from the play, and if I do my job right and keep them leeched right there, they don't get back in play. Like it's just over for them. Like
Have you ever? Go on.
I think the moment I really realized where this is not something too goofy and too weird is when Antbot told me he really liked it. Antbot's this guy is an intoxicated, really good team, and he told me like he's never seen that before and he wanted to start using it in the team as well. Then I felt like let's go.
Have you considered coaching? Have you ever
I
done a
have
coaching session?
coached. I do coach. Yeah, I do coach. Currently, I coach Be Bad or Bad. I don't know how they like it pronounced, but
Is it a team or an individual?
it's a team. It's a team.
Right.
I coach teams. I coach individuals very rarely. And when I coach them, it's usually just a 1v1 where I explain to them what they can try doing different,
Mm.
or just a few pubs, and I just give them some pointers. Like, it's not very intense, but I have coached teams. I coached Team Juice because after I left, I still coached them for a while. I coached, and I don't know all these names of these teams anymore, but Samurai at one point, it was like a silver team, and then
How?
two other
Why
teams.
did you coach? What did you get out of coaching?
Um, I just really like helping growing the community and like having the league as strong as it can be. Like, cause I know that there is like in no way am I a crazy player. That like I don't consider myself as a really. Oh, excuse
No
me.
worries. No worries.
How unprofessional of me. I'll cut that off.
Turn your phone off. How dare you?
No, but in no way I consider myself a crazy player that like can coach all these teams to be really good. But like I've played for like this is my fourth season, so I know quite a bit now, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of new teams that I can share my knowledge with. Like I'm not gonna coach a plat team, but I can coach bronze and silver teams, and they often really appreciate it because for those teams it's really motivating to have someone from higher up go to them and tell them, hey, you guys have potential. I see something in you guys. You guys are really good at this game. And if you work together and you solve this issue and you focus on this, you can really do something. Like, I think coaching, excuse me, big part of it is what you teach them, but maybe an even bigger part is just making them feel like they can win these games and they can really trust each other and believe in each other. Like, just confidence is a big part of coaching in Echo because that's the biggest downfall for players. Just
Did you
players
ever
who
coach?
consider. Did I coach or did I have a
Did you
coach?
have a coach?
Oh man, I currently do. I believe every team should have a coach. So yes, we do have a coach. His name is Alpha. Used to be
Yep.
Alpha Wolf. You probably
Yep.
know him.
Yep.
You should definitely get him on the pod as well. He's
Okay.
great guy, great stories, and
How
just
did
really
that come
down
about?
down to
Did you
earth.
just meet him in a mixed?
Um, I actually don't know how that came. I think I just straight up asked him one day on Discord, like, "Hey, I see you coach this team. Would you mind coming over to us and give us a coaching session too?" And he did, and ever since season 5, he's been our coach. So no, since season 6, excuse me. And he's been super important for us. Like, what I really like about him is he's so modest. Like, he can teach us so much. And let's say we win a big game, he will always just leave the win with us. He's never gonna say, "Oh, I helped you guys get
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
win." If anything, he says like, "This is all you guys. Like, this is all you." And I just think that's a great quality in a person, and I think that's why I like having him as a coach so much. Like, I obviously tell him like, "Bro, it's you too this win. Like, you've taught us so much and you've helped us clean up these plays so much." But he just stays really humble about it, and he's just a great friend of mine.
Mm. This is really cool to hear because I feel like where you are now and where you would have been if the game wasn't shut down is where I was like a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. And I can fully relate to this. So you're on a team, you're looking for another team, you're looking to be a bit serious, you're meeting friends along the way, but you're like, oh, I want to play like a couple more nights a week than you do. And it's like you're drifting apart, you join another team, I became a captain as well for these reasons. Built a team myself, started to really compete and like push up. I remember the struggle from like bronze, silver, getting up to gold,
Oh
and
yeah.
then the struggle from gold and higher and fighting your way through. It's definitely a different terrain now because there's just less teams to fight your way through. There's not a master tier anymore, like various reasons like that. But I also got into coaching. I was seeking out coaches for my team, and I was coaching other teams. I was looking into coaching individuals as well, and I went quite far with that. I like built an 8-week program to work with people, and I like had like one-to-one, you know, coachees, people I'd work with, and yeah, I really dived into that, and then I got into casting, blah blah blah, moved on, and what I want to ask you is, well, we spoke about the shutdown earlier.
Mm-hmm.
What are you thinking currently? So now it's been like 2 months since we heard the news that the game has been shut down. We've got
Mm-hmm.
4 months to go. Have you thought about what happens after that, like the later half of this year?
Might just sit in a corner and cry for a bit. Then I'll get myself together and
Yeah.
just move on with it. Like, there's not much we can do. Like, what I think though is we're gonna lose Echo, and we might not see everyone in like a year. But as you said earlier, there's gonna be other game companies putting out new games.
Yes.
Let's say there's going to be a new sports VR game that everyone really likes. I am so sure that all these Echo players are just going to hop on that because we have the attributes like to be good at VR sports. Like, we can all move, we're comfortable with with our hands, like we're used to VR. So if another VRML league starts for some new big sports game, I'm pretty sure everyone's just going to come back to that. And I think that's going to be a really nice moment because you'll see all these players you haven't seen in years, maybe at that point, or months. I don't know. It's just whenever a new game comes. And then it's going to be like, hey, long time no see.
Do you see the community staying alive, or does it go dormant when the game ends? At least your,
Well,
your corner, your circle, your
yeah, I think it's
connections.
going to be just divided in groups of people. Like,
Yeah.
you might have the Echelon general chat up for a bit where people talk, just like the biggest Europe group chat. But everything said there will just be about how people miss Echo and how much it sucks they cannot play Echo.
Yeah.
But I think people will just stick to their friends, and like, we can really all be thankful for this game because all of us have made friends on this game. Like, everyone has made a friend that you can also play fucking Uno with on your phone, or I don't know, whatever game you want to play, or even if it's just a call. Like Conan, for example, the other captain in my team.
Yeah.
Like, I met him a few months ago because he's half Dutch. He
Right.
has family in the Netherlands, but he's from England. And we met up and we spent the day together in Amsterdam. It was like a very fun day. It was very cool to meet him. And like, things like that, like Echo has given that to us. Like, there's so many other players that I know that have met other people from this game, and they've become friends, and like a lot of people, more than friends even, like relationships have started on this game, which I find crazy. Like, I could never fall for someone online. But probably now that I have said that, tomorrow I'll meet someone online and I'll fall in love because that's how life works.
Yeah.
But
Maybe.
yeah, I think we can all be incredibly grateful for this game and what it has given us, and that's what I think. That's what I think is how I will think when this game is gone. I'm just gonna be upset for 10 minutes, but then I'm just gonna think, okay, like, what has this game left me? And I just have this list of friends that I can just call with every day, and they're there for me, I'm there for them, and like, I wouldn't have them without Echo. So even with Echo gone, like, the biggest part that makes Echo fun is the people you play it with. So yes, I'll miss throwing a disc around. I'll miss making plays with people and having those big laughs with them, but just having them as friends now is also just so valuable.
So something that we spoke about at the very beginning was about your career. You had that course in HR that you studied.
Mm-hmm.
You're interviewing for a job like this week or whenever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Have you thought about career paths in VR, and have you
Um,
explored any?
I am not very good with computers. Electronics is not my thing. Like,
He
I
said it's
don't
wearing a
know how
headset.
to. I say wearing a headset, absolutely. But the only thing I like about VR is actually Echo. Like, I don't
Okay.
like any other games on here right now. I used to, but um, like a game, like career path in VR. Sure, like there is this place close to me, and they basically rent out headsets for people to come there, like a bachelor party. and they play a zombie shooter for an hour or a kid's birthday party or just casual people. Like I'd love to work at a place like that maybe and like just witness people experiencing VR for the first time. I think that's really cool. Because those reactions, they're always just,
Mm.
oh, what is this? Like, that's crazy. And, but like a career path, like, nah, because I'm not interested in technology like that. I'm interested in people. So I want to do something with people, like HR.
That's really interesting. I wasn't expecting you to say that. You're interested in people, not the technology.
Yeah. No, but I think that's why I like Echo so much as well. It's like, if it wasn't for the people, I would have thrown this game in the garbage long ago.
But it's also the competition as well, right? The competitiveness.
Yeah, definitely. I think when it started for me, it wasn't all that competitive.
Mm.
But once you start getting better at the game, and once you start enjoying the taste of victory, then you naturally become more competitive because it's like you know what you're capable of and you know what your team is capable of. And if
Yeah.
you lose a game against a team that you know you should have won, it's going to sting a little. And you're going to think, okay, what can we do next time to make sure we don't feel this again?
Mm.
Because, like, I don't mind losing, but I mind losing when I know we should have won it. But I'll never let my team know, of course. Like, I'm always supportive during games and after games. And 'cause that's the whole thing about being a captain. It's just like, even when you're upset, you cannot be upset. You got to be the anchor for your team. When everyone else crumbles
Mm.
mentally and they think, ah, we're going to lose, you got to be like, no, shut up. We're not. We got a good chance here and we're all good. And like, I used to give these speeches. Bosch, old captain of Team Juice, used to call them Famtalks. Like, just
Famtalks.
during games or when we were losing, I would just give like a Spartacus speech. I would rise up and I would just give a monologue about how we're here with a purpose and how we're gonna do it. And I just love that like theatrical side of it. I just think it's super funny and yeah, it works as well. Like mental is a big part in this game. If you can get your players to laugh again while they're losing, it's everything.
Was this you before Echo? Were you, like you said, you played a lot of sports? Would you do the same thing? Would you stand up and give a theatrical, like motivational talk to your team?
Um,
Or is
I
this
would
change your
not give.
personality?
I'd say I'm pretty the same in and out Echo. I've
Yeah.
never really changed my. Echo has not changed my confidence or anything like that. I've just really enjoyed the game, but I was never the guy in the sports team to give a speech because that was the coach. But when you're playing a game, your coach is not there, so it's got to be me. And I think that's a really interesting balance actually that you have to find in like when you're the
Mm.
captain of a team, you got to be able to tell your players what they're doing wrong, for example, like in the best and most positive way possible, of course, so they don't feel like shit. But the dynamic of that is I'm a player and a captain, so it's like I cannot always make everyone happy in some decisions on like who gets to play a certain game or and you still have to play with each other during it all. And I think that's one of the most challenging things about being a captain, and I think that's where a lot of teams basically collapse. It's just they have a captain that's just not thinking about how do I keep my players happy and how do I make it fair and how do I have everyone respect each other. And that's one of the things I took from Holmesy as well. Like he told you this as well on the podcast. He said, like, as long as there's like that, I told him that I could start a team because I felt the confidence to do it because of I've seen him do it. And that's absolutely true.
Mm.
Because he was just such a good captain to me and to everyone else, and he just kind of gave me the the blueprint, and I've just been using it ever since. And my team is doing great. Everyone's happy, or so I think.
One other
So
thing I want to ask about is maybe there isn't like an obvious answer, but right now you're not in a pandemic. We're not in a pandemic anymore. We're not
Mhm.
locked down anymore. We can go outside and play whatever sport that we want.
Mhm.
Why do you still sit here with a headset on your face? Why are you
Oh man.
still in Echo? Even though you know the game is ending, you know there isn't a future after a certain date, yet you're
Mhm.
still training X numbers a day a week.
Um, I guess because answer is very simple. I just enjoy it.
Yeah.
I just think it's a really fun way to spend my evening.
Mm.
Like, I go to see friends too, of course, but like if I'm not going off to see a friend or I have to be with family for something, I I can just play Echo and like my friends are on here as well now. Like because I moved to a different city for college, I left
Mm.
all my friends back home, and then that was like I moved during the pandemic, and I got my own headset, the Quest 2, and like so I guess during that I got so close with these people, like Conan, for example,
Mm.
that that's why I still play. It's because these people are just my friends now, and the game is so much fun still. And like the better you get as a team, the more fun it gets too,
Mm.
because you just have that feeling of accomplishment together. And it would just be a waste if I would just stop now because Echo is shutting down. Like I did not train this hard and put this much time in to just have
Mm.
them say, "Oh, we're stopping it," and then I go, "All right, fair, this was it." Like, nah, I don't want to go down
That's
like that.
why I'm surprised you're not playing in the mixed.
I get that. I get that. It's just I don't know. Like I said, I just want the freedom to go wherever I want, and maybe I didn't read enough into it. Maybe the games end at 12 during the day, and there's enough freedom after that. But I just
No,
thought,
there's a lot of games. So the
yeah, well, okay, well there
Saturday
you go.
it
There you go.
starts at like 10, and
Yeah,
then it's games all the way through to midnight.
yeah. No, then I'm very happy I didn't sign up.
It's
Like I'll go in, I'll
a lot
shake a
of
few
games.
hands, I'll say hello to everyone, but then it's hasta la vista, baby. I'm gonna do something else with some people. I'm gonna have my fun.
Nice. Nice. Okay, so I've got another question.
Sure.
And it's something I like to ask different people from different walks of life with different involvement in this game,
Mm-hmm.
different trajectories, different points of their life as well, different ages, is what are you curious about now? And
One
this
of
is
my
generally about, so, okay, with the games being shut down, but it can be something related to Echo or it can be something completely outside of Echo. Like,
mm-hmm.
what are you thinking about and pondering about at the moment?
Oh man, we can get really deep here if you want.
Sure. Whatever
Like
first came to your mind.
the biggest thing I've been pondering lately is the afterlife.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a topic you want to discuss
Yeah,
on your
sure.
podcast, but it's like, as I mentioned earlier during this thing, I lost a few people in the last year. And I've lost people before, but not in this velocity. Um, and when you do that, and when you like go to say goodbye to this person, and you like say goodbye to a body
Mm.
without life in it, you're just like you start thinking to yourself like, what is there? Where did this person go? He or she cannot just be gone. So lately I've just been like having those late night moments where I just look at the stars and think, okay, like what else is out there for us? And I'm very skeptical. Like I don't believe in ghosts, stuff like that. Like nah, but you do kind of start thinking about serious stuff like that when it happens like a lot in 1 year. It's pretty like difficult to not think about it. So what am I most curious of is that I think it's just that's been on my mind
What
a lot.
about it? What are you curious about? So you said afterlife. You didn't specifically say death. You said
Mm-hmm.
afterlife.
Yeah.
So what
Okay,
does that mean
death
to you?
then. I'll change my answer to death.
Okay, that's cool. You just didn't want to say that. You didn't want to
Yeah,
sound
no,
too
I'll change
ego.
my answer to death. I'll change my answer to death. That's a very
Well, it's you're not the first to bring it up. It does come up in conversation because it's such a
mm-hmm.
universal thing. It's
Of
something like
course.
if you with life comes death. It's something that
Of
everyone
course.
has to live with.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a guest. Do you know EJP 2016?
No, but I saw he was recent on the podcast, right?
Yeah, have a watch of that one.
Will do.
It's a big part of his story and motivation for planning the land that happened in Canada. in
Did
October.
he? Oh yeah. I
It's
almost
really
don't
good
want to
one.
ask. Did he lose someone on Echo?
Yeah,
Oh wow.
basically. And that was like his
That's
reason to care so much about other people
yeah.
and put on the event. It was a bigger motivation. And like he, at the event in Toronto, he started it out like saying, oh, by the way, like this event is for this person that passed away.
Man, that's beautiful. I really respect that of him. I don't know the guy, but that's like I respect that big time. Like I can totally imagine how if you lose
Mm.
someone like on your team, for example, you just play for that person. I do the same thing. Like big respect to what's his name?
EJP 2016.
EJP. EJP 2016. Big up
There's
him.
also someone else I interviewed. I'm planning to release it the week before we do LAN as well. Someone
Oh
else,
yeah.
it's in their story as well. Something that they
Mhm.
dealt with like during the pandemic.
Mhm.
It's surprisingly universal. And he's gone. He's gone. He's disconnected. Oh, is he back? You there?
I'm here, yeah.
Oh, I think I had a blip. I think I dropped for like 4 seconds. What was I saying? I lost my train of thought.
That it's very universal.
Yeah, it comes up a lot, and
Mhm. It does.
oh, that's where I was going to go. I was going to talk about one of the most surreal experiences I've had is a funeral in VR.
What?
Yeah,
A funeral
someone
in VR.
a year and a half ago. Yeah, it's pretty dark. Someone passed away,
Wow.
and yeah, do you know the Tyro community?
Mhm.
Yeah, someone in the Tyro community organized like a funeral event, and it's like, what do you do in VR? Okay, we're all gonna come here. We're gonna like remember this person. But it was like,
Mhm.
okay, what do we do? So we like played some games.
Yeah.
we like,
No, but I
we
think that's the best way to do it, honestly.
yeah.
Like,
I'll find the video for it. It was for a
mhm.
player called Ben, and then he had some numbers after his name as well.
Okay.
Ben, it might have been a year or something.
Mhm. No,
Um,
but I think that's a really beautiful initiative of whoever
mm,
took that like because of course when you lose someone in VR, the community won't even really know it unless someone mentions it, and then like if nothing happens, then everyone sits with their own feelings about it. If you have a funeral, you can share some memories. You can
mm,
like say like remember when this guy did this, and then everyone laughs and remembers that, and it's just honoring that person. Like I just think even in VR, like a lot of people will say it's silly that you would have a funeral in VR, but it's like you got to
mm,
think like, okay, what is a funeral for? It's to remember this person, to honor this person, and to share like the love for this person with others. And you can do all those three in VR, so it makes sense.
yeah. Okay, I'm gonna bring the tone up a little bit.
All right, let's
Chip or
do
no
it.
chip?
What?
Chip or no chip?
Chip or no chip? Excuse.
Yeah. Would you
What
put
do
a
you mean?
chip into your brain, like a microchip
Uh oh.
that allows you to talk to the internet with your brain?
Nah, man, I don't like the internet anyways.
Never.
Nah, like a chip in your brain,
Yeah.
man. That's too new for me. That's I don't trust it. Like, what is that gonna do for you? You can talk online. I mean,
It means that you know how you can type into chat GPT and it just gives you an answer. Imagine like
mm-hmm.
thinking, oh, I wonder what like I don't know what year was Belgium founded. I don't know,
Oh man, life just
but just
wouldn't be fair
information
then,
is
would
just
it?
there. You know it. You know everything now.
Though life would be pay to win at that point.
Pay to win.
Yeah, pretty much. If you can have a chip like that, there's no need for school or like
No.
anything like that. Like honestly, if there's no need for school, if everyone can just know everything, let's say you get this chip implanted from the age of 16 or something,
Yeah.
you can just be so productive.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely benefits, but is it something that can that happen? Is it real? Like I know nothing about.
Yeah. So it's being trialed at the moment. It's on human trials. I'm pretty sure. I might actually need to fact check this, but I believe there's solutions for people with epilepsy.
Mm-hmm.
A solution for it, and they're doing human trials for it, which is putting the chip into someone's brain,
Oh yeah.
helping to help the effects of epilepsy and avoid those seizures.
Yeah.
So that's how it's starting out. But what that leads to is, yeah, I put a chip in my brain and I talk to the internet.
It's difficult for me. I don't agree with it. I really like. I don't like it, bro. I don't like it. Like, tell me one movie where people do that and it goes right.
Well, then
Bro,
it wouldn't
it's
be
just-
a movie if it goes right.
Nah,
No,
but
what's
still,
that?
bro, you're opening a whole box of troubles. It's not worth it. Like, you can put a chip in your head and you can know everything, but where's the fun in life if you can just know everything like that? Isn't a big part of the fun in life like figuring stuff out?
I guess so, yeah. But maybe there's
Like,
stuff that we just don't know the answers to that isn't on the internet. You know the internet the same way we know the internet now. It just takes us a little while to do some
but then
research.
you also have the dark web planted in your brain.
It's a good question. Good point. Yeah, you
Eh,
have stuff that you
like-
don't want in your brain now.
Yeah, because like Google and internet is only like, didn't they say that's only like 10% of internet and dark web is like 90 or something?
I don't
Like,
know.
I'm serious. I read that somewhere and it was not Facebook. So, but yeah, I don't know. Would putting a chip in your head? It just sounds too weird for me. Like, I like what you said about that it can like help with epilepsy.
Yeah.
I used to work for like a good cause. I don't know what it's called in English.
Charity.
Charity, thank you. I used to work for a charity, and that charity basically they raise dogs, and instead of seeing eye dogs, so the dogs are blind people, they raise dogs for people who are in wheelchairs, like war veterans with traumas, people with epilepsy as well, children with autism, and more. And it was beautiful to do that work. Like, we trained dogs, and those dogs could peel bananas. They could peel bananas, Mitch. The canine peels a banana. Can a chip peel a banana? Chip cannot peel a banana. And the dog can also smell an epileptic attack coming from 30 minutes before,
wow.
because when you're having an attack like that, you kind of let out a certain scent from your mouth and your pores and everywhere in your body that humans cannot pick up on.
No way.
But the dog can, and then the dog will alert his owner like, hey, you're gonna have an attack in the next 30 minutes. So the dog can do the same as the chip, and it can peel bananas, and it's a dog. You cannot have that in a chip. You cannot pet a chip, cannot cuddle a chip. A chip is not gonna peel a banana for you, Mitch. A chip is a piece of metal that's just gonna screw at your brain.
Okay, cool. No, I like your answer. Solid answer.
I'm a based guy, what can I say?
All right, cool. That's all my questions. Is there anything else you want to say while you're on this platform?
Shout out Conan, shout out Alpha, shout out Bosch, shout out you. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome, man.
Appreciate it, man. Like, it's a real honor, because I've been watching you cast, I've been watching you do these, and I never expected you to mention to me that you would have me on, and thank you.
To be honest, I've enjoyed this way more than I thought. And I thought I would enjoy this anyway. But I thought, I don't really know, fam. I don't know like what we're going to talk about. But I've been
Bit of a
genuinely
dodgy guy,
surprised.
isn't he? Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. No, but
no,
I
there's-
thought the same thing, honestly. I thought, what am I going to do on this podcast? Like, I've never been master. I'm not that interesting. I'm not CV1. Like, no, or I'm not a caster. I'm not anything like that. I'm just a
Do you
guy
want to
that
be?
enjoys.
Do you want to get into
Echovr.
casting?
Nah, I don't think my English is fast enough for it. And I think my voice is very monotone. Like, it's
But
quite
you've just
difficult
been
for me to
speaking
sound
me
excited.
for 60 minutes. Like,
Fair.
absolutely fine. I think that's nonsense.
All right, fair. I don't have equipment. Does that work? Is that a good excuse?
Is that a good enough excuse?
Like, all I have in my room is a headset and a shitty laptop. No console, no PC.
Yeah, you'd need to upgrade your laptop.
There you go. And a
do it.
PC is already what, like $1,000?
Maybe not 1,000, but yeah, you're looking if you want a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
you're
there's
looking at
1
that
month
price.
left of the season, so when am I gonna cast? You
It's
know?
true. That is true. All right, man. Yeah, let's wrap this up.
All right.
It's been good to speak to you. Oh, that's what I was saying. I was pleasantly surprised by this conversation and the. I mean, I just didn't know you, fam. We've never
Yeah.
even been in. I don't think we've been in the same arena together. We haven't had a scrim or anything.
That's just insulting, Mitch.
I don't think we
I've
have.
played with
Let's
you at
sort it
least
out.
5 times.
Oh, that hurts.
Oh man,
Oh,
this
that's rough. That's embarrassing.
is this how you
Let's-
treat your
let's-
guests?
Let's edit
Is
that
this
bit
how
out.
it is, Mitch?
That didn't happen.
No,
way
but
have
you're
we
right.
played,
You're
like,
right. You're
5
right
times.
though. Like
What
we've
team?
never really talked. I've seen you a few times in these scrims, but
Was
I
it
think
Tyro
it's
EU
also
days?
nah. I did never join Tyro things, but I think it's also because I'm usually on the other team. I've never.
No,
really
was it
played
when I was
your
on the
side.
Tyro team in season 5?
Maybe, I don't know. I don't. My memory's not good like that. But I've seen you. I've definitely seen you in a scrim like last month.
Last month.
Yeah, man.
Oh, when I was on Duckman.
Ah,
Did you play?
I don't
Duckman?
know. But no.
Then
No, but
we wouldn't have been in a scrim then. I don't.
Okay,
think
then
would've
it
come
was
up.
Duckman. But bro, I'm sure. Like I'm dead ass. I'm sure I've seen you. 100%.
Dead ass.
Yeah,
I love hearing
I'm
that.
sure I've seen you.
But yeah, let me make my point. Yeah, I've really enjoyed this conversation, and I've enjoyed
you.
getting to know you. I just didn't know you. So I honestly thought you were just some kid that was like super excited about the game. But it turns out you play it, you coach, you're pretty serious about it. You invested all this time, even though the game's shutting down. You're still turning up and making things happen, being a leader, captain in a team, and have similar ambitions to make it a fun place for all.
You're making me blush. Damn, Mitch.
I was blushing when you were talking about me as well, like 5 minutes in. You're like, hey, Mitch, I love everything you do, man.
Oh yeah, no, but it had to be said. It had to be said. With all the time you put in, like, kudos.
Yeah.
But thank you for having me, and it's been a good
Let's sign
one.
off. And I'll see you in Southampton in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, see you in a few weeks, bro. See you there.